ladies and gentlemen, I, Aayushi Singh Parihar, is very delighted to host a very prominent personality, Mr. Kartik Taneja, on the behalf of Prestige Media. Welcome, sir. So, how to use internet to expand our business? What exactly is sales channeling means? And how to make your identity in the IT sector? And hopefully we'll get answer to all our questions in today's interactive session. So let's begin this conclave. I would like to start by asking, as earlier we all know, you were working as an employee with Tata. So what inspired you exactly to begin your own business?
No, I didn't begin my own business. I started my career with the Tatas. Then I worked with the Times of India group. Then I used to run VeriSign, which is the internet registry for .com and .net domains, runs the internet infrastructure for India. Then I joined Google about 6.5 years back. I started the channel sales business for Google in India, and now I look after the channel sales business for Google in Europe, Middle East, and Africa. I'm based out of London, and I manage a pretty large business in Europe for Google.
Sir, can you tell us what exactly VeriSign India is?
VeriSign is an internet registry. So what happens whenever you have an internet web address like google.com or prestigeinstitute.com, there is an extension called .com. So whenever internet traffic flows, it has to call on that extension. That whole infrastructure is managed by VeriSign. So when you send a query from your laptop, it pings the VeriSign server, who finds out where prestigeinstitute.com is hosted and returns that query back to the user. So VeriSign would be like a middleman of transferring data query from the user to the hoster and back to the user.
Okay, thank you, sir. So my next question would be, what basically is sales channeling means?
So it's actually channel sales. So what that basically means in very simple terms is a distribution system. If you go out and buy a car, you go to a dealer. Similarly, if you go and buy Google's ads, products and solutions, you go to a company which sells them. There are thousands of companies which sell them, and I look after that part of the business for Google in Europe.
Okay, thank you. Often people get confused about sales channeling and marketing.
Yeah.
So what is the basic difference between two of them?
Yes, so I think sales or sales distribution network or sales channels is the way through which companies sell their products and solutions, and marketing is a way where companies create consumer awareness, companies create incentives for consumers to buy their products, and also for sales channels to sell their products. So for example, a dealer may get incentive to sell 1,000 cars in a month. Similarly, we also provide incentives to our business partners to sell X amount of products. So that's a part of marketing. We also reach out to small businesses through events, through education, through seminars, and helping them understand that how digital will help in their journey to succeed.
You worked with Google. So how was your experience working with Google?
Yes, like I always say, there is a life before Google and there's a life after Google. So Google is one of the most innovative and greatest companies of our generation. For me, I think it was a complete transformation to take a big step up from where I was working to work in Google style of thinking. Google is one of the most innovative companies on the planet. They create products and they create them at scale. So any product that doesn't work for 1 billion users is something that Google does not is something that Google wants to create. So any product that will go and reach out to billions and billions of users, Google's mission is to organize world's information and make it useful. So what we do is we try and create, and technology can drive that. So we try and create great products which can be used by billions and billions of users to make their life easier. So whether you have Google Search, whether you have Google Maps, whether you have Chrome, whether you have Android, whether you have any product that uses and helps technology get into the hands of day-to-day users is what we want to create.
I want to ask that what would be your next project, or you are recently working on something?
Yes. Like I said, I look after the business in Europe. Our goal is to help small businesses succeed. And what we do is we work with programs, solutions, product solutions, which help small businesses who are small micro businesses. You can take an example of a plumber, you can take an example of a small shop, you can take an example of a small retail store. How do we help them succeed in the digital world? So how do they help create their own e-commerce store? How do they help market on the digital medium? How do they help scale up logistics? So all that are the kind of things that we do. There is no special project so to say, but the overall mission from me is to help small businesses succeed in the digital environment.
What tips you want to give to our young entrepreneurs who wants to make their name in the world of business?
Yes. So one and most important is for everybody to understand that technology is here to stay, and technology will disrupt existing business models.
Yeah.
So whatever business models that we are working on currently will not exist in 3 years down the line. So I think the first and the most important thing for any entrepreneur or a person who wants to get into a startup mode needs to realize that whatever ideas they have, they will probably not be valid 3 years down the line. And the way they're doing business now will change. So the most important skill and the thing to remember always is that we are changing in a fast, dynamic world. We are existing in a fast, dynamic world, which is changing really fast. And the pace of change is accelerating. So it took us, for example, 5 years to do a thing now. It takes 3 years to do that. Tomorrow it'll take 1.5 years, then it'll take 6 months. So you need to change as quickly as technology is changing. Otherwise, your business, everything will get redundant. So start something, keep changing, keep evolving, keep embracing newer and newer technologies, because that change will happen whether you like it or not. And it's for all entrepreneurs and all new generation people to remember at all times.
So I want to ask that is Make in India project help to develop our country's economy?
Of course. I mean, Make in India project is a great initiative by the government of India. I think it's a good initiative where we are encouraging people to set up operations in India. It creates employment. It improves the GDP. Yes, definitely, it's a great initiative. I think the problem I always see in any initiative is execution. I always say that great ideas are of no value without strong execution. And if we are able to execute really well, I think we will be able to transform the way the world looks at India and how we can create some great meaningful jobs, some great meaningful businesses in India. So definitely a great initiative, but I think the key lies in execution.
Actually. So thank you so much, sir,
Sure.
for this informative session, and I'm sure that we all have learned a lot about the world of business, IT and commerce, and thank you so much for your precious time, and it was really nice having you.
Thank you very much.
This is Aayushi Singh Parihar signing off from Prestige Media.